Yep, if you see a screaming 2-year-old, that is mine. She's out with Dad and 1-month-old Finn in the Commons area. I just wanted to thank the Loft for this opportunity, as well as the community that is my instructors and peers in this program. They really have saved my life in more than one way. I just want to also thank those who traveled here to see the reading, especially my partner and my children and my parents who came all the way from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I have a couple poems from 2 different projects I've been working on. One in which is an exploration of women. I think because since I became a mother, I've been very interested in different women's lives, the kind of woman that my daughter might become, the kind of man that my son might become. And so I've been paying close attention to news stories and developing poems from that. This first poem is called Gila and is based on Henrietta Lacks. She found it when leaning into herself, feet propped at cold tile edge, fingers dallying along the ridges of cervix, hard nut, tough to crack. It was all accusatory then, who took what and when, which name was he, which the law. A song rose up from the throat of her, obliterating the basement walls. But her body was more than they wanted, just a piece, a Curette Cleaning. She'll go home, less a slice, tuck barrettes into her daughter's tousled hair. She'll never know. She'll never grow old, immortal cell line. She'll unknot, spinning teacup. She'll slide beneath the microscope light. She'll lantern. She'll never be older than you. This next one is called Disposable Woman, the title taken from the film term where a woman is introduced to a plot and is expendable, and is based on a news story about a young mother who was burned alive in Papua New Guinea after the townspeople accused her of sorcery last month. The opening wave was the hardest, an unburdening of flesh. Between her toes, the lint of every day, packed tight like tires, wicking away rain. No clothes left, not a stitch, nothing left but skin, cattle branded. How many bottles made it round the circle? Was there singing? What witch is dead? Throat wide open, deep enough for sky, for hen feathers. Her tarred, her burned neatly. 8 months before, and she'd thrust a body like hers into the world, little limbs and all suckling. Her teats were pulled taffy, spun sugar, in a house reeking of cinnamon and gold. This next set of poems comes from a manuscript that I've been working on that started off in infertility, and obviously that's not how it ended. And I'm going to skip the infertility poem since I've been living in the world of milk and diapers so much, and sort of celebrate that. So this one's called Figure in the Snow. See the moon peel like an orange in the winter snow. Find the bedrock now from the air when all the trees are spindles, each branch a division, each division a possibility. What's left of sumac, of switchgrass, prodding above surfaces, heads bowed in the lumpen field. Blanketed and bare, these bluffs are fat from the mulching of autumn. See that shadow along the shadow trails, the bulb at the center of her, how she progresses, that slow print by print of her on this earth. Her snow angel betrays nothing to the empty bowl of sky. She wears silver feathers in her ears. See her hand, how she holds the crescent fruit, the navel long since shed. And I should thank our fiction mentor for that particular poem. She gave me the seed of the idea, and that's what came out. This one is, what I wanted to do sometimes was model some of my poems off of the medical documents that we had in the birthing experience, and this one is based off the farce that is the birth plan. It's called Reasonable Birth Choices. Please indicate which options you would prefer during your birthing experience. 1, wet, yearning swirl of bathwater and float. Your partner's hand can press down, keep you from overflowing. 2, the audience with the applause sign. It's how we cheer you on. 3, no salt on the wound, no oils, no ointments, no scent of any sort. 4, there is wheelbarrow, monkey squat, draw your finger through the dust, ankle clasping, treble clef. 5, peel away, assurances through soft music, ocean waves optional. 6, the distribution of popcorn is not required, though menu choices are slim. The viewing begins in a few hours, and this machine becomes the central line. 7, blackened windows can be your mirror. Do not inspect below the belt line. 8, slender mullet meal, little needle song. 9, hypnotic breathing. Pufferfish have pelagic life stage. Spawning occurs near surface. Eggs are spherical and buoyant, keep you from overflowing. 10, please place the creature on my chest. Please let the broth of me slick away. 11, please sing humble songs of needles and knives and everything that shines. And here's a post-birth poem that I wrote for my daughter. It's the last poem of the book that I'm working on. It's called The Light. I've promised you this, a crown of clover, little linked stems wet with my tongue. I name what's in your narrow span. There's wood anemone, thimbleweed. Once I could fit you in the palm of my hand. The coneflowers have splayed as your limbs on that blanket, your nail beds etched with dirt. I tell you this, the planet opens at midsummer, this day a rifted nut. This day all the light pours out. The light then warm and full, no flickers or rough edges. It is as if you are standing inside yourself, reaching for the garden's tempered edge, the boldest leaves. When the sky widens like a lung, I pull you to me, your hand tenderling my wrist, and we turn indoors to watch the storm arrive, those insect fat plops, the thrill of electricity, the globe as it sinks in on itself. The light is gone now, and all we can hear is the rhythm of the downpour, and all we can see are flashes of the world, the flowers bearing down from the weight of water. You were born this way, not in a deluge, but long after, in the hush. And of course, if I wrote a whole book to my daughter, I have to start writing poems to my son. So I've got 2 that I'll end with that I wanted to share with you. One I wrote in stages after the various ultrasounds I had, and it's called To My Unborn Son. Your first appearance, you were no bigger than a snap pea, your trippy heart, the whole of you, patterning like a frantic insect pinned still with string. The second viewing, I clutched your father's hand to my side, his jaw slack open, resembled so many bones of fish cornering stones on the lakeshore. I returned quiet and alone to spy you once more, to pull away the mysteries of your heart, 4 chambers counted, the wub-wub of valves like a frantic penguin's dance. Your face surfaces, retracts. You turn your bottom cup up, the question of your maleness verifiable, the way you spin and pluck. You're throbbing in my gut, like a metronome. You've been moving for 2 days now, not the kicks that were bruising, but something languid, finger painting the basin of my uterus. And this last one I wrote almost exactly a month ago while I was drugged up on Toradol and Percocet. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I spent a couple nights nursing him for 6 hours straight. So this is what I did while I was sitting in the hospital bed, and this is what turned out. It's called Afterbirth. I feel the infection wanting out, not like the last one that sat like a hat-shaped organ, its brow, where they sluiced me wet and open as a conversation. This is how I made you, both of you, or maybe that was another weary hole. It depends on where you place made in the ruckus of it all, depends on how much you want your father to count, and I say all of him. He leans in when I offer you the feverish stone of my breast, not because he's missed them, but because he's awed by the miracle of them, the quieter of all things wailing. Save the siren of my body, which cracked open only a few days ago, split like a pistachio. Thank you.